clean, down pat, get in, get out.
Yeah.
I only want to bring my backpack from now on. I don't even like having a carry-on. I just like hate having to. I hate fucking thinking about the shit up there.
Why are you gonna think about it? Yeah, what are you thinking about? You put it up there and you don't think about it.
My nightmare is that they won't have enough room for me to put my carry-on up there.
That's why you gotta. I was gonna say that's why you pre-board.
Yeah, well, it is fun
pre-board.
being with you when we pre-board.
Yeah, when we pre-board, wasn't it dope when we were in
You were like, come with me, come with me.
Yeah. Fucking.
You always point me out. You're like, and they're always like,
I'm like, that's my handler.
Yeah.
Those are the perks when you travel with me. You know what's funny is Mikey Maz refuses to do it.
Why?
He's like, I don't want people to think I'm retarded. I'm like, brother.
Bro, I be walking over that.
Yeah. Pre-boarding.
Yeah. I was thinking before when you said like elderly and like veterans, I was like, what if I lie about being a veteran?
You probably can. You probably can. I wouldn't lie. That's one I wouldn't lie about. I'd lie about being some type of retarded. I wouldn't lie about being a veteran.
Yeah, no.
They'll kill you for that shit.
Who?
Yeah. Veterans.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that was my little story.
You know what's funny about both retards and veterans?
What?
I feel like there's a lot of different Venn diagrams where they have like a lot of common. You know what I mean?
They both like WWE and like fucking Chevy Camaros, baby.
Yeah. And John Cena. Oh, I guess he's WWE.
Yeah.
Do veterans like WWE? Maybe.
They used to do the USO shows for like WWE used to go there to perform. I'm like a WWE guy, so I have that in common with both those
Fucking
groups.
loser.
I also love Camaros. Holy shit, I am a veteran.
Holy shit. I think you're a retard, actually.
Damn, I forgot about the other
You thought you had that one on lock.
Yeah.
Well, now you can pre-board.
Yeah,
There you go. Pre-board. Yeah, pre-boarding great because then also like if there's a carry-on thing where they're gonna try to check your shit or charge you for it, I
always let them check my shit when they do the check at the gate or check at
And
the
you gotta
fucking
wait.
thing. I don't give a shit.
I give a shit. I don't want to wait for it. Yeah.
No, I don't mind waiting for it.
Also, why would you stress about it being up there and not down there?
Because I don't have to worry about the room up there.
All right. Didn't they lose your bag once or something like that?
Yeah, they lost my bag.
Okay,
It showed up like a week later.
Yeah.
Broken. Shit was broken inside, right?
Yeah, they blew up a bunch of wine bottles that I had in there.
Nice. Never let them check your shit.
They blew up a bunch of wine bottles and like a fucking 20-ounce. It was like a 16-ounce cologne somebody bought me.
Damn.
It just blew out in my bag. And now my bag smells good for forever.
Oh, hell yeah. Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
All right. Yeah. So next we have Trump peddling fucking Elon's cars.
This
this shit is
crazy.
This shit is insane. So, yeah, Tesla stock started to crash.
Mhm.
And because obviously Elon Musk is losing a lot of his net worth. And so Trump is coming to his rescue and saying, you got to buy, electric cars. You got to buy Tesla. Tesla's so great. And he brings all the Teslas to the White House, does a whole demonstration in front of everybody. And honestly, it worked a little bit because now Tesla stock is going back up.
Well, everything's going back up.
Everything going back up.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, it's probably because inflation's going down.
Mhm.
We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, he's peddling these cars. All the Republicans are doing it too. But I really hate how funny this man is. Because he gets in the Tesla and he's looking at everything. He just doesn't give a shit. And he's like, wow, everything's computer in front of the entire press. I mean, it's unbelievable. Everything's computer.
Don't they have something else to do?
Yeah,
crazy.
They have a lot to do.
It's like I'm like, wait, like
They
I
gotta
don't
make money.
take this much time off of my job to do weird shit.
Yeah, he's got to make money for all of his boys. That's what he's got to do.
That's nuts.
Crazy because electric cars specifically are like the Republicans have always been like gas, fracking, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Now you're turning to electric cars because guys sucking cock.
The whole thing's unbelievable. It's full of contradictions. Fucking Republicans are about free speech, and now they're trying to deport someone for exercising their free speech.
Didn't he also say he was going to be like an act of terrorism to vandalize a Tesla?
Yeah,
place?
vandalize Tesla cars. Like,
It's crazy. What about any other car? What the fuck?
it is ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
It's just so like it's a very obvious con to me. It's like but like even dude, the fucking Truth Social post was like so good because it just is so obviously like, I think you're a bunch of idiots. Buy these fucking cards.
Yeah. And isn't it unbelievable that all that shit's real?
Yeah.
Bro, on Twitter, he's like toned down. On Truth Social, he's unbelievable.
Really?
Unbelievable. I go to his Truth Social every once in a while because you could just like look it up. You can go on Chrome and look it up and go to see like what he's doing. This dude, it's every like 10 minutes. It's like a paragraph about some bullshit. It is unbelievable. He doesn't stop. Yeah.
It's crazy that people like love it. Like I understand, being on the right or being on the left politically.
Yeah.
But there's people that just fucking love Trump like he's Jesus or like he's some kind of deity or something. It's crazy.
A friend of ours is being kind of rude to his other friends and being a total dick and very stubborn, even when he's like, might not be correct.
Yeah.
Just in the name of Trump, like it's Trump's his father or something like that.
Yeah. And he'll be on the podcast at some point.
Let's go.
I'm sure he's going to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
I'm sure it will be the only topic.
I wondered, I was like, who is, because Trump, a big part of Trump is all of the side stuff that he sell. Like the meme coin, the merch, the watches.
Didn't he sell cards, like fucking like trading card type things for a while?
Trading cards, anything he can get, anything he can sell, he would. And I'm like, who is buying all of this, right? We go down to Florida this past weekend. My brother is staying at my aunt's house, and in my aunt's house is a whole room dedicated to Trump. Did I show you
You
this?
did show me. So it's in my mind.
From wall to wall, from one side of the door around the room to the other, filled with Trump shit. I'm talking bobbleheads, bears, fucking license plates, picture frames, anything and everything that has Trump on it, they have it. An entire room dedicated to Trump.
I miss when these people used to just do this for like Jesus.
For Jesus?
Yeah, it's like just do it
Trump
for
is Jesus,
yeah,
bro.
it's like crazy. It's like the same fanatical, like like
Trump is the second coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. They're the ones who are buying it, I mean, it's working. People fucking love him. Yeah. And apparently they were telling me that on the radio station, on Fox News radio station in Florida, every time there's a commercial break, Trump comes on. He recorded an ad selling watches. He's like, these are watches. They're great watches. They're all gold, real gold. We love it. And you can get one for $49.99. He's on the radio saying this.
Oh, wait, a real gold watch for $49.99?
No, not a real gold watch.
It's Trump time.
Advertisements really work on
Yeah,
me.
advertisements really do work on you. You're like the prime target.
When you said that, I was like, oh, real gold for $49?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
My aunt, like the same one who has like that room. I mean, I think it's really her roommate. Her roommate of 20 years.
Oh, is this like a lesbian thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Her
okay.
roommate of 20 years is, I think, the one who's collecting all of this. But she's like, was in shock. She's like, I can't believe that Trump comes on the radio and tried to sell watches. Because it's like, yeah, don't you have something better to do? Like maybe fix this country?
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, but then on the other hand, inflation going down.
What is it down? How much percent?
I think it's slowed to like 2.3%. I think I read today, something like that. I don't know if it's a thing where they're talking about how much the percentage in which it's slowing down or the percentage in which it's at right now. But I did see some charts today, and it is really seriously dipping. I don't know what the reason really is, whether it's because all the investments back into U.S. manufacturing by all these companies from Trump's tariff, or I don't know. I really don't know what it could be. Maybe the war seemingly is coming to an end. It could be a whole bunch of things.
I thought the main reasons for inflation going down was things like recessions. It's like recessions and increased interest rates.
Like recessions is coming.
Yeah, well, that's like, it's one of those things where it's like, to get inflation to go down, you have to put us into a recession and you have to raise interest rates. Again, okay, not an economist. This is like what I hear like my parents talk about.
It's possible. I mean, Republicans do have track records of getting us into recessions, but I don't know. I mean, it's possible.
That's nuts.
Wasn't inflation at like 9% or something? They were saying
Something like that.
So when they measure the percentage of inflation, is it based on the value of last year's dollar, or what is it? What is this 9%?
Because I looked it up when I got my promotion, or at the end of the year in December when I got like my end of year promotion or like raise. I checked it against inflation and I was above inflation and I was not at 9%. So I don't know if it fluctuates maybe then, or obviously it has
I have no
to,
idea.
Yeah.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, where are they getting this percentage? What are they basing?
Because if it was
on?
a 10%, let's say I'm making up numbers. If it was a 10% increase last year, and now you're saying it's only a 2% increase, a 2% increase is like, oh, that seems great, but like, can we lower it 10% to get where we were at the beginning of last year or something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, a 2% increase might be back to a normal amount of inflation, but what do we do to adjust for the fact that we had years of like overinflation?
Yeah. It's honestly out of my wheelhouse. I don't know too much about inflation.
Yeah.
I've always been on the grind of like, I don't understand why the government can just be like, don't raise the prices.
Because that's like that's not capitalism.
Yeah, that's true. I get it. But like maybe just for a little bit, you know? Like let's let it, well, no, because the whole thing
So
is that
slippery
they,
slope is, I think, what they would say.
yeah, but also like they have to punish us for being alive. So we can't get a chance to catch up at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think based on what you're saying, kind of, or off of that, I think a lot of inflation is like, what's the word? I'm sorry. Artificial inflation,
I
because
think so too.
like the last few years, grocery prices have like skyrocketed. Like right now, I mean, the eggs are a thing because of the bird flu or whatever.
Yeah.
But let's just say eggs are normally $10.
Yeah.
And that's like the new normal price for them.
That would suck.
Even if they could sell them for $3 based on the inflation rate or whatever, they're never going to drop it down to $3.
Yeah.
They're always going to charge you $10.
Why would they do that?
Unless you're going to think inflation is so bad. But no, we're just paying these motherfuckers $10 for something that we should be paying.
It is like, so
we
we're talking about the oligarchy last time thing.
Yeah.
One of the things that I don't understand, what I think is happening is like, what if all the guys selling eggs are just like, why don't just all sell them for $10? They're buying them like anyway.
They could.
You know, it's like, but that's the thing is I don't think that eggs count in for this, but they're only allowed to put on price caps on things that are, or like, I think like the ideology is you're only supposed to put price caps on things where the demand is like, I learned, it's like a microeconomics class I took.
Like gas.
Yeah, it's like but it's like it's like a necessity because then the demand is so high, you could technically almost get however much money you want from it because people need it.
Yeah.
But it's like when it goes into fucking insulin and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are they charging why are they making hundreds of dollars per thing of insulin when like some dude somewhere needs this to survive?
That's the capitalist model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a good system. I mean, and eggs got to go down. Eggs are a necessity.
Yeah. Eggs
How
are.
else am I going to make chicken cutlets every night?
Yeah. I was
know?
eating 3 eggs a morning. Now I'm at no eggs a morning. Oh no, I'm buying egg sandwiches. I'm just not making it at home.
You know what I was wondering? I went to a diner when I was in Florida. They're not upcharging for eggs at all.
Yeah, they're real for that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's like regional.
It's regional.
Yeah, because like we're not getting eggs from factories, whatever you want to call them, from farms in Florida. You know, all getting shipped to New York. It's usually not happening.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like the bird flu or whatever hit in like certain regions, certain areas. Only certain regions are affected.
Yeah, I'm paying $11 for eggs right now. This shit's crazy.
Well, Trader Joe's is $5.
Why not? It's crazy.
They never have them.
Every
time I've been going. Did you get some yesterday?
No, because I bought some last week and it's still, I haven't touched them. Still in there.
I saw a picture online. There's $17 up in the Bronx.
$17 up in the Bronx.
Who
in the Bronx?
They can't afford it.
They don't want people in the Bronx eating eggs.
I'm like,
apparently,
of all places for them to be $17, like like fucking like Glen Cove on Long Island. Okay, yeah, charge them $17.
Yeah.
The people in the Bronx, you can charge them $17. It's because they got to go over those fucking bridges to get there.
Yeah, honestly,
because they got to take 2 hours just to go get eggs.
Yeah, and they're getting fucking charged. Everyone, it's all the tolls. On the way to the Bronx.
$17 because you got to duck gunshots in order to get them. Yeah, no, awful. I mean, so where was it? Yeah, inflation's going down, but maybe at the start of a recession. Who knows? I know you really want to bring up the fact that you put cocky or cock on the
I didn't put the Y. I didn't put the Y.
The Y was no good, but yes, we're on the agenda. We also have, in all caps, cock.
I had to sneak it in while you were fucking. It was going to be more interesting, but you were like coming around the corner.
What else were you going to put?
Yeah, bro, I did.
Let me guess. You were going to put not only just cock, you were going to put and balls.
No, I was going to say it says inflation is going down, and I was going to say cock is going up.
God bless. All right, yeah. And so in the same vein, we have that student getting deported, or they're attempting to deport him. And like I said, full of contradiction.
Yeah.
You know, fucking, they're all about free speech, all about free speech. And then now someone exercises a little bit of free speech. And listen, if you're an immigrant here, or you're here as a legal resident, maybe not the best idea to go out supporting fucking Hamas and doing things that could threaten your status.
Like, that's the thing is, people always say like it's support for Hamas. Is it support for Hamas or is it support for Palestinians?
That's where the line. If it's support for Palestinians, they're going to arrest everybody on the campus. But I think this guy was handing out flyers or something,
like specifically Hamas.
For Hamas. Yeah. Now here's the thing: is that, and you might be about to say, he hasn't been charged with anything.
That's not what I was going to say.
Oh, what were you going to say?
If you're anti-Israel in any capacity, they'll just call you a terrorist. They'll say you're a Hamas sympathizer.
Not really, though.
Yeah, if you're an Arab guy and you're anti-Israel in any way, they're going to slap you with whatever they can.
Anytime I've seen them, like, not anytime, but I've seen often, it'd be like, oh, well, I'm against Israel's stuff. And it's like, well, we don't want to support Hamas. I'm like, whoa. That's not what I said.
They always jump to the you support Hamas, and it's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
It's like with gay marriage when they're like, what, we're going to let fucking dudes get married? What next? You're going to marry a dog? And I'm like, no.
I mean, feels like the Democrats were on their way there. Yeah, it's a bad example. It feels like they were on their way there. They were on their way to something like that.
To marrying a dog?
Yeah, I don't know what they were going to do next.
But yeah, it's horrible. It's a breach of free speech. It's a threat to every Americans, to the Bill of Rights, to our free speech, First Amendment. And just because somebody's on the other side of the aisle, no matter what it is, like that's anti-American.
Yeah.
Because another country wants us to do it and they have vested interest in, money and politics and stuff. We're just gonna get on our knees and suck their dick and fucking, violate Americans' rights. No, that's wrong.
I will disagree with you from what you were saying before, because as of right now, there's people who are supporting Palestine and they're not targeting those people. Like, they're not trying to go after them. The people who are supporting Hamas, they're going to be going after them. And I'm not saying it's right, because you do have a right to free speech, but I do think that they're going to be going after what?
Okay, bro. You cannot tell me that you go to jail for supporting Hamas when there's straight up neo-Nazis in the country.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not saying as of right now, they're not deporting people who are like trying to go after people who are saying I support Palestine.
Yeah.
They're going after people who are saying I support Hamas. I'm just saying, like, clarify that line, because that's what, as of right now, that's what it is.
But what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter what they support. It's a violation of his rights. If he's a legal resident,
I agree with you.
There's dudes not like Nazis marching around.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And they're fucking saying, "I'm glad to be a Nazi."
Yeah. My thing is that, like, it's wrong. I do believe it's wrong. I'm saying, if you're a legal resident, you're not a full U.S. citizen or something like that, maybe to be smart about your situation, maybe you shouldn't be going to protest. Maybe you shouldn't be, supporting Hamas. I just don't think it's a good idea. Why would you do that?
It's not a good idea, but you still are supposed to be protected. I used to say this to Kobe all the time. I always want to feel comfortable telling a cop to go fuck himself. Even if it's for no reason. Yeah. Every time I pass a cop, I just want to go, fuck you, scumbag.
Yeah.
Because there should never be any repercussions from it. And they always try to bully you and they try to throw the book at you for some other shit. Yeah. They're going to detain you and just make you do paperwork either way.
Yeah.
You should always be able to, even if you don't mean it. It's not like I want to say it, but I just want to be like, okay, let's see if I can actually exercise my right the way that I'm supposed to. Go fuck yourself, scumbag.
I agree. And it's full of contradiction. They'll pull out their gun and they'll fucking shoot you.
Yeah. Even then, when the Black Lives Matter protests were going on, all of a lot of the conservatives were really mad. And I was like, this is what freedom of speech looks like. It's not selling somebody a fucking cake because they're gay. Yeah. It's standing up for what you think. Hey, we don't like that you're killing so many people. Yeah.
Besides even that, like, even whatever, if you don't agree with what a protest is about, I don't think that we the people, excluding, like, obviously whatever, fuck the government, but we the people should never, ever, ever be upset at anyone protesting, because you're exercising your right to free speech. Even if you don't agree with it, why would you give the government that satisfaction and say, and they're like, yeah, the government's like, this is terrible. You should think this is terrible. And we're like, yeah, we don't want them to practice their free speech.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because
it's like they're going to do the same to you. Why would we go against each other like that?
I'm like, you guys are going to really not love these laws when they bite you in the ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What fucking, oh, now we're all upset when January 6 rioters went and stormed the Capitol, which, by the way, I'm coming out and saying it. I agree with it. Because in the same vein, fucking, we showed the government that we're not fucking around. We'll storm the fucking Capitol if it comes to that. Not all of us, but people will.
Yeah, and then they'll drone strike your ass.
Yeah. I mean, you seem like you were disagreeing with that.
I don't think storming the Capitol is cool. I think that's a little bit like further of a protest, and I don't
see why not.
I agree with. Go ahead.
It's like taking over a government building. It's like, you can't even get on the lawn of some of these buildings.
Let's show them that we can.
They have security. All right, but I mean, I don't think that's the same thing as like, a protest on the streets. I don't think that they fall into the same jurisdiction.
It's obviously not the same thing. It's another whole other level to it. But that being said, like they're facing the repercussions from it. I'm not saying I agreed with their whole thing of storming the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, I would never storm the Capitol because I don't want to fucking ruin my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, inherently, I don't think it was like the worst thing in the world. I think it's good for the society, for people to show that we can fucking storm a Capitol.
Do you think that they should be in trouble, those people?
I mean, it's tough because it's like, on one hand, it's like I said, these are the people exercising their feelings toward, they're angry at the government for whatever reason. Even if I don't agree with it, it's like the government is saying, okay, you stormed one of our buildings, so now we're going to put you away.
But you're not allowed to do it. They were saying they were going to hang Mike Pence.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a peaceful protest. It wasn't a peaceful protest.
It wasn't a peaceful protest. They fucking stormed. They might have killed somebody. Honestly, they got pretty close. But it's just, on the other hand, it's like, I just don't want to give the government any type of, power and authority over somebody like that. Mm. It's literally we the people. Yeah. If we the people say that this is wrong, we should be able to demonstrate that and exercise that feeling, That's why they fucking stormed the Capitol. I don't agree with it. I wasn't there. Obviously, a lot of the country didn't agree with it because they weren't there. Mm. But enough of them did to where they're like, all right, let's go fucking storm the Capitol. And they did. And you know what? I believe it was a show of force. Imagine if we all agreed on something, right? If all the people, Trump tries to run for a third term, I think that you would see a lot of Republicans and obviously every Democrat go out there and be like, nah, fuck that. And we would storm something. Yeah. Should we go to jail for that?
I should never go to jail.
I agree. None of us should ever go to jail. It would be horrible.
I cut you off before. I'm sorry.
What were you going to say?
That was so long ago. But like, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to agree with the specific act, but I agree with the idea of that. Now we can put you in check.
Yeah.
Because the government, like you said, is we the people. And if you're going to do some goofy shit, then we as Americans, as we the people, we have the right to fucking put a stop to that, to say something, to do something.
Yeah.
And January 6th is like, fucking nut jobs who did it, of course. But, I respect them in a way that they fucking believed in something and they fought for it and they did it. Goofy as shit. The Viking hat, the whole thing. Yeah, goofy as shit. But you know what? They did it.
They did it.
So, like, God bless.
And whether you believe fucking, the FBI let them in, the cops let them in or whatever, they fucking did it. Yeah. They went in there.
I think all the people that stormed the Capitol are like the frontier flight people.
It's a similar crowd, bro. Yeah. It is a similar crowd.
Yeah.
Add in a few people, like a few black people, then you got a frontier flight. Yeah. Maybe a few Hasidic people. Yeah, you got a frontier flight. It's close though.
What you were saying before about like, what if we all agreed on something?
Yeah.
What could we do?
Yeah.
That's why they keep us divided.
That's why they keep us divided. I mean, think about it. Fucking, what is it? What is the Egyptian revolution called again? The Arab Spring?
Yeah.
The Arab Spring. All those people, they overthrew the president that they didn't like. Do they deserve to go to jail for that?
No.
No. So that's what I'm saying is I understand your sentiment behind it is like they're not fighting for a good thing, these January 6ers, but they're showing the government like it's honestly part of the checks and balances is what I believe is protest is part of the checks and balances. That's why I don't get mad when I see liberals protesting for gay rights and shit. I'm like, that's your fucking right to protest for that shit. Whatever it is that I agree with or don't agree with, I'm happy you're protesting. You know, I'm not fucking out there protesting. You know, I'm fucking mostly smoking weed.
Yeah.
The thing about January 6th too, and I'm not a Trump fan at all. I think the media made it a much bigger ordeal than it really was, made it seem bigger because it still is like, important event or whatever. But I think the fact that it was very Trump centric made the media make it seem worse to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because if it was like for support of Obama, maybe let's say, or even Joe Biden, they'd be like, oh, these patriots are here to save our country, to save democracy. When it's like, that's what they were also saying about themselves. We're here to save this country and save America and save democracy. So it's all perspective bullshit. And I think the media definitely made it seem worse in the public eye. Not that it was good. That's not what I'm saying. But the media made it seem worse as they do. It's media,
True.
you know.
Well, conservative outlets and liberal outlets are like, like left outlets always do that. It's every single thing is good 100%. For them. I mean, I remember
keep us divided.
Sometimes Trump gets in trouble for stuff and fucking Fox News does a segment on the best burger in New York or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that is the way it is. This works for us. Let's spin it for us.
Yeah.
I think my main gripe with we don't have to stay on this for too long. I think my main gripe with the January 6th stuff is that they think that the election was stolen. And I don't agree with that.
Yeah. I also didn't think the election was stolen until this election, when there was like not an extra 20 million votes for the Democrats. And I was like, something's weird about that. I'm not saying that the election was stolen, but something's weird about those extra 20 million votes that Biden got. Where did those people go? They just didn't vote for Democrat or Republican. They just decided to not vote. 20 million people.
I know a lot of people that didn't vote.
I know a lot of people that didn't vote too. 20 million people, well.
In the most consequential election of all time, they wouldn't show out.
Yeah.
It wasn't the most consequential.
They always say it, though. You know what I mean?
I would say,
but I don't think.
I don't think it was look at how much Trump is changing America right now.
I don't think. Okay, I get it consequential in the way that Trump is doing stuff now.
Yeah,
but I think a lot of people weren't happy with Biden and just were too like stubborn to vote for Trump.
Well, okay, so this goes into the kind of cultural shift thing that I wrote down here that you guys were like, "What is that?" So I've been thinking about this the past few days, and also it ties into this book that I'm reading. It's about the fall of the collapse of the Soviet Union. You guys know I've been reading that.
Mm-hmm.
But first I want to talk about like I think that what we're seeing right now and what we're going to see in 4 years when Trump is out of office is I think we're seeing democracy like working in real time, because the Democrats, you got 4 years of Biden, and the Democrats just took it all too far with the social issues with, a lot of it is people just didn't like the whole transgender issues and gay issues. And then there was, whether it was abortion that was going too far, whatever it was, they were taking it all too far. Right. And then now, so we were like, all right, you guys are done. We're taking you out of office. And now we're going to elect fucking this crazy fucking man. And, people are excited about it. We think he's going to do a great job. Now he comes into office and he's doing all this shit that nobody really wants. Even Republicans are starting to get upset with it. And now we're going to say, after these 4 years, if he tremendously fucks up the country and he goes too far with it, then we're going to say, all right, now we're getting you out of office. And there's going to be some sort of reset. And I think we're starting to see that, because look at Gavin Newsom. He's got a podcast now. And who does he have on? Charlie Kirk. And he comes on and fucking they talk it out and they have a rational discussion. And Gavin Newsom starts to walk back some of the stuff that the Democrats have been saying. I think Gavin Newsom's a fucking piece of shit. You look at him and he's a piece of shit, but a smart politician, because he's going to be the one to take the Democratic Party in a different step, or rather a step that's more towards liberalism and less extremist. And then I think you're going to see the same sort of thing with the Republicans. There's going to be somebody who comes out, and they're going to be not as extreme, and they're going to start to take steps in what we think of traditional conservatism. And I think that this is going to be like democracy working, because we punished the Democrats, and now we got to punish the fucking Republicans.
But we're being punished. The people are being punished.
Yeah, we're being punished, but
we're going to be punished for being alive until we're dead.
Yeah, we're always going to be punished for being alive. But I think this is democracy working in real time, and I think we're going to see something like that.
one of the things that they like, it's like a proven thing, is that you always see a counter movement to a movement. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's like they said that about Me Too, where they were like, there was the Me Too movement. And then I forget what happened afterwards, but it was like a lot of like, people started to be like, no, like we like almost like a shift in the other direction.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Yeah, what do you got?
The counter to the Me Too movement. The to me movement. Do that shit to me.
That's not bad.
All right. All right, we got a joke. This is like what, our first joke in fucking 20, 30 minutes. Thank you, Ahmi. God bless.
20, 30 minutes. We just hit an hour.
What?
We just hit an hour.
You know? You can see?
We started
8 p.m.
at 7.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We've been talking for a while. Wow.
Yeah. No, but I think that it's true that it's like, yeah, it's like he's going so. But I will say this, that it is time for the fucking, I hope that this puts in perspective for the Democrats that you guys can't just rely. I hate relying on social issues.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders doesn't really rely on social
No, he
issues.
does not.
He gets into the policy of things. I hate when people rely on social issues, because social issues do definitely matter. But like, you know what really supports like, these like vulnerable groups? Having more money.
Yeah.
Like, having more money and opportunities
Yeah.
really helps people.
Like not being starving.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
like not having to be a slave to like these
Yeah.
huge corporations, I think would really help like the arts, the
Yeah.
vulnerable groups, us,
Yeah.
like, be like a healthier society.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see others start to shift towards that too. AOC, I think, is going to be one of the front runners in that sort of shift as well, is not focusing so much on social issues and rather making this whole thing, Democrats' whole platform should be about the class divide that is obviously happening. That's what Bernie is. And fucking, they shifted him aside because the truth is, the Democrats are all fucking full of shit.
Yeah.
Just like the Republicans, but the Democrats as well. They don't give a shit about you. That's why you see guys like Aiden starting to walk back a little bit, the shit that he says, because they're all full of shit. They don't want to help people. Otherwise, they would have. In the past 12 of the 16 years that they were in charge, they would have helped anybody.
That's like something my dad used to say of like he's like, yeah, they'll argue all day and then they all go to dinner together. And then it's like, and then they're all rich at the end of the day. Like,
You ever seen that picture of Hillary Clinton like walking into like a regular American's fucking a little apartment, and she looks fucking shocked because it's like so small and fucking whatever. But
yeah,
basically-
there's a video of fucking Bill Gates trying to guess prices for everyday things, and another thing where they're just so disconnected.
that's like a joke from Arrested Development. They want to show how out of touch Lucille is.
Yeah.
She's like, how much could a gallon of milk cost? $50. Or something like that.
You know what's funny is if milk was $50, Ryan would still be buying it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I got to make these protein shakes.
yeah, God bless.
Really funny.
Yeah, and then the other thing is that I'm reading this book about the collapse of the Soviet Union, and the entire time they keep talking about perestroika. You know what that is?
Sounds familiar.
Perestroika, I may be saying it wrong. Perestroika is basically enacting some sort of reform or shifting, like inherently changing a government, like a political
It's like
system.
when the people take power kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, that's how they develop the term.
A little
Am I
bit,
wrong?
kind of people take power. When I looked up the definition, it was more so about enacting political and systemic change,
Okay.
like overhauling the system completely. Now, the whole thing is that everybody thinks that like the Soviet Union collapsed, so obviously it failed, and they didn't do what they wanted to do. But at the end of the book, where I'm getting toward the end of the book, the guy is making the argument that the Soviet Union collapsing is perestroika working, being a success. Is that like, because what they set out to do was change the government entirely, and that's what they ended up doing in the end. So it kind of was a success. So now you got to say, is what Trump's doing, where he's like overhauling the government completely, gutting all these agencies with Elon and Doge, is it kind of a successful reset of our system? And you might say it's successful. And, some people like Colby will say it's successful because he's doing all the thing that I want him to do. Democrats will say it's not successful because obviously they're gutting things that we don't want them to gut.
Please buy more Tesla.
But have you seen, like, do we have outcomes of like, here's how much money we saved, here's where this was going, here's where the corruption was?
Yeah.
Because I keep hearing that we're like, we're getting rid of all of this, like this waste that we don't need.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's like the two dudes that love covering their own asses are saying, no, everything we're doing is getting rid of waste. It's not like the most concrete proof that any of this is actually happening.
I don't think enough time has passed to really tell.
But even like, it's like, why not let the people know the strategy? Why not people know, well, this is what was happening. And then, so that's why we got rid of like, share the thinking a little bit. Like, why hide that portion?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I think that this was starting to happen where Elon was posting all these numbers, billions and trillions of dollars. And they even started talking about doing like a dividend out to taxpayers of $5,000 with all the saving that we're making. And but now you're starting to see Elon has to walk some of this back because some of the savings are bullshit. And then some of the, like a lot of the stuff you're seeing with the Trump administration is that they're walking back a lot of what they're saying. So they're, they brought a bunch of migrants to Guantanamo Bay. And then now the judge is saying, no, you can't do that. And they're like, all right, bring them back to the U.S. So they're walking back a lot of what they're saying. They're gutting a lot of stuff and they probably are saving money. I mean, in the long term, I don't think they're going to save money. I think we're going to see a lot of chaos, I guess you could say, that's going to cost us a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they're walking it back. But that's the thing is you're right, is that they're not really being transparent about this process, and they're not doing it like the right way. Apparently, Bill Clinton did a similar thing where he kind of I don't know if destructured is the right word, the government, like what they're doing now, but he went through Congress to do it all. Like he had an agency look at everything and say, this is what we should cut. This is why we should cut it. Give it to Congress. And Congress approved a lot of it. Elon just going in and he's like, I'm going to do what I did at Twitter. Like, you want to like, gut Doge or whatever the fuck, It's
the thing is that it all seems like good news. Like imagine sending $5,000 to over 300 million people. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know it's not being done in good faith and like good and pure intentions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to take that check anyway, no lie.
I'm gonna take the check.
You want to give me a $5,000 check? I'll take that shit and run.
I'm going to take the
I'll
check.
be like, God bless President Trump. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that like Elon Musk isn't doing this for the love of this country, because he cares about the normal American.
I think he's the biggest con man ever.
Yeah, he's the
100%.
biggest. Look how
The both
quickly
of
they
them.
moved to fucking try to recoup his stock in Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Total bullshit. Billionaires will always want more money.
Yeah. It's like what we were saying last time. There's something inherently broken about them.
Yeah.
I wonder at what amount of money the greed switch just is always on. Is it
I'm
like
thinking like first billion, right?
Dude,
No, even
I'm
more
telling
than that.
you,
That's a lot of money.
if I had 100 mil, I couldn't dream of having a penny over it. You know what I
Right?
mean?
Yeah.
100 mil, me and everybody I know is living the life that we want to live for 100 mil. And then my kids are probably still going to have 80 mil.
It's like the thing is that once you're introduced to that life, you realize like all the stuff you can get and all the things you can do, and you realize that you can do so much more too. I feel like even when you get, I feel like that threshold of like when it becomes like that switch is very low. I feel like it's at like $1 million. I mean, let's think about it. Yeah, he knows where I'm going with this. Is how often do you come home and say, I need a raise. I need more money. It's every other night. And you keep asking for more money. Meanwhile, you're living superb right now, as far as I'm concerned.
But to be fair, he's not making $1 million,
no,
$100 million.
he's not. He's not. But you got to think that the switch is there right now. Is it not? I mean, you always do want more.
But it's not an absurd amount yet.
That's the thing. It's not absurd.
It's not an absurd amount.
But
to me, it's an absurd amount.
But listen,
For you, it's an absurd amount.
I was
didn't say
talking
nothing.
to every time, whenever we talk about it, and we're talking, and even when I talk to my sister, we always talk about amounts of money.
Yeah.
And they'll always say like an amount, and I always go, and they're like my sister will be like, this is how much I want to make.
Yeah.
I'm always like, it's not enough. She's like, no, I'll be happy with this. I'm like, once you get there, you're going to realize it's not as good as you think. You got to keep going up.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like, I'm within a normal, I'm not even top 15% of New York.
Yeah.
I'm just still like, this is like what I would consider like middle class.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I think this is just like, I just don't want to blow my brains out. Like that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I still like, don't think I'll ever buy a Ferrari. Like, I don't
Really?
think, oh, maybe
You
if
can
I
afford one right now.
no, I could. Well, if I no, I couldn't. If I realistically, just because you have the money to buy something doesn't mean
Doesn't
you can
mean you
afford
should.
it.
Yeah, could afford it,
affording it is different than
Yeah.
having the
I get it,
purchasing
I get
power.
it.
But would I love a McLaren Senna? I would love one.
Yeah.
I could never. I don't think I'm going to be able to buy one in my lifetime.
I think you're going to.
If I
I think
could,
you
that'd
don't.
be sick.
I don't think you don't. I've lived with a lot of rich people who made not that much more than you do now,
Yeah.
and they all had McLarens in their garages. They all had Ferrari. You're gonna have a Ferrari, trust me.
I'm always going to ask for more money.
You're being humble. Exactly. You're always going to want more. And the thing is that we're American and we're capitalists. We should always want more. But it's like that's the thing is that like you can't say Elon is not doing it for money. Of course he's doing it for money. It's never enough.
Okay,
it's
bro,
never
but like,
enough.
like fucking hundreds of billions of dollars
It's never enough.
is way different. This is just some insight into my day.
Yeah.
Every day, even when I'm working like 11 hours,
Yeah.
my saying that it's worth it to me every day. If I have to work late, if it's really stressful, fucking shit's hitting the fan with fucking ESPN and they're calling my phone direct on Saturday night.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm like this, what makes it all worth it is that I can get an egg sandwich every day for lunch and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Elon Musk's egg sandwich is another rocket to fucking the moon.
It's like his egg sandwich is a country.
Yeah. Bro, what can you do with $500 billion? You could establish a country on Mars. This is like, I don't get like, you can't say that he's not doing it for money because he is doing it for money. It's never enough. He wants to live on Mars. I'm telling you, my conspiracy, homegrown conspiracy, he wants to see the downfall of society. So we all have to go to Mars and he can be ruler there. We're going to have a retard for a ruler. I mean, we do have a retard for a ruler.
I didn't know he was a veteran.
Nice. All right. So yeah, I mean, that was just kind of what I was thinking about is that I feel like democracy is kind of working right now. And I think it's going to work again in 4 years. And it's like, we had to force the Democrats to shift back and rethink some of the stuff they're doing because people just aren't comfortable. All these social issues, everyday regular people just aren't comfortable.
I will say it is too much. Even like I like consider myself like a pretty progressive guy and I still like, and I don't mind if you want to do whatever you want to do with your life. Everyone like should
God
always
bless.
be like, okay with that. But I do think like walking around feeling like I'm everybody's enemy all the time really fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
I wonder where the switch is or the flip is. Because for these last few different administrations that we've had, you feel the cultural shift like swing in either direction. And each time it overcorrects like a little bit, like a pendulum, right? But each time it overcorrects and it swings a little further left. And then the next one, it swings a little further right. At which point does the pendulum flip over? And there's historical precedent. Like the Republicans are the ones that freed the slaves and the Democrats wanted slaves. You wouldn't think based on how the parties are now, you thought it would be flipped. You thought the Republicans would, want the slaves. But no. So at what point does that flip? And at what point is that flip going to happen again?
Well,
you know what I mean?
I feel like that's the argument I'm trying to make right now is that I feel like we're in real time seeing that switch. I think we're going to see the Democrats restructure and reassess what they believe to be, the core party values. And then after these 4 years of Trump, which 2 months in, it's already fucking insane. 3 months in, it's already insane. I think we're going to see the same thing with Republicans. I mean, even my aunts in Florida and people in Florida are not fucking on board with this shit. And they have a room dedicated to Trump.
I was so hoping fucking Mitt Romney would run. I was like, I will vote for Mitt Romney. Please give me
Mitt Romney's not a bad guy. You remember the 47% thing?
No.
Back when he was running against Obama, the reason why he lost the election, this is like the undisputed reason, people wanted him because someone basically had him on tape at like a small conference saying that we only give a fuck about 47% of the population, which is the Republicans who are going to vote for him.
Let's go.
He was like, who cares about it? All the rest of them? We just need the 47% and we can win.
That's
this.
crazy.
Yeah. And that's why he lost.
Well, we'll see what happens in the next 4 years, but
yeah,
I hope that in the same way that I want UFC fans to forget about McGregor, Americans will forget about Trump and we could just move on.
Yeah.
I know we're trying to bring it into UFC really
this
quick.
dude is the king of the transition.
I'm nice with it.
I do want to say this just to cap the political stuff.
Yeah.
I would really love to see a leader or president that actively and genuinely, not just panders, genuinely tries to bring America together as a country.
Be nice.
How nice would it be, right?
Even when Trump did the fucking his speech the other day, it was just so fuck you guys, we fucking want to fuck you, and it's bro, these are your what if I did that to my coworkers?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Being oh, I got this project and you didn't get it. fuck you.
Yeah,
like
that'd
I
be
have
insane.
to it's like me and these dudes are supposed to be building this stuff together. You know what I mean?
It's so crazy that like we're all on the same team.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Americans.
Like even if you don't like Trump, I don't like Trump. I want him to do well because I want us to do well. I want America to do well. Like
I don't like him, but I am being like, let's watch the numbers. Let's see if all of this plays out. How he thinks
Let's
it's
see if
gonna.
all this crazy shit actually can have like a positive income. I mean, positive outcome. You know what I mean?
And I also hate that about the news. Like, bro, I'm telling you, we got real friends that are really being real cocksuckers for fucking no reason other than they're brainwashed. It's like the war on Christmas thing. It's like what I always say. They're going to convince them there's a war on Christmas, and then they're so riled up because they think that I want Santa Claus to be a black Hasidic Jew. And I'm just like, what? And now I'm screaming at my friend, and I'm like, what are you fucking talking about?
Happy holidays.
It's so funny because I've seen that exact guy around Crown Heights before.
Nice.
All right, yeah, all right. So that I feel like we're all pretty much feeling the same type of way about the current state of the world. But yeah, Ahmi, you wanted to transition it into UFC?
Transition?
Ahmi's transitioning. Ahmi's going to be trans.
That's awesome.
Yes. He's now going to be Amy.
What? I said I'd hit. I was just joking.
Okay. All right. UFC. I missed the card this weekend, obviously, because I was in Florida, as I was saying. I did watch the highlights of Pereira and Ankalaev. I was upset by what I saw. I'll let you guys fucking lead this charge because I didn't see it, obviously.
I thought the card was actually pretty good overall. You know, Pereira versus Ankalaev wasn't the fight people thought it was. I've been saying Ankalaev was probably going to win, but you know, he just shut Pereira down. He couldn't do what he does. Yeah, I don't know. Card was good, I thought, overall.
I think the card was good. Yeah, well, like what we were saying the other day. I don't like how Ankalaev pushed him against the fence for 2 rounds. Yeah. I think he was just in the same way that Izzy used to run around. I think it's the same thing. Yeah. I'm going to press you against this fence. There's no danger there. It's totally fine. But I will say in the exchanges leading up to that, Ankalaev was Strickland plus, like I said the other day. It was nothing but pressure and great defense. Alex couldn't get any of his combinations started. But then unlike Strickland, Ankh was actually swinging for the fucking fences. He had one combo he threw a bunch of times that I really think they were training to take fucking Pereira's head off. Like, this is exactly what he's going to do. So he was good for then, but I will say, I like when a champ puts it on for 5 rounds. Yeah. And he didn't. But not Ankh also didn't. He pushed him up against the fence for the end of it. Yeah. So it's like, he knew, okay, I did enough to beat this guy. I'm going to push him up against the cage for the rest of the fight. That's how I felt about it. But what he did for the first 3 rounds was great, but also saying, I know Pereira's left hook. I know who Pereira is. Why don't I just play it safe for these next couple rounds? I don't really love that from a champion, but I know that's like, even Robert Whittaker came out when everyone was shitting on Adesanya and was like, hey, if you could get away without getting fucking beat up and win the fight, then like, why wouldn't you want to do that as champion?
Yeah.
I mean, to add to that, like, I think Pereira just got outworked the whole time. Like you said, Strickland plus. Mm-hmm. He just, he stopped him with his pressure. But then also Pereira in the end of round 5, he hit Ankalaev with like a good head kick, and he had him like a little rocked, and he didn't did
follow
anything.
Up at all.
He threw, I think, like 3 or 4 calf kicks right after, and then just never threw another. If he hit him in the head again, he probably would have knocked him out. And he just didn't for whatever reason.
Again, this is just speculation. It felt like Pereira thought the leg kicks were going to have more impact than they did. Yeah. Because even like Joe Rogan and all them were like, oh, like, he's starting to, you see his like legs sweltering up. I saw Ankh switch stances like a couple times, but I would say at least like only half of this like stance switches seemed like they would even maybe be because of pain. Mm. The other ones just seemed like he was switching stances because he switches stances, and like one of the combinations where he gets Pereira, he's switching stances as he in mid combination. I don't think that was because of leg pain. I think that was the game plan.
Yeah.
So,
which brings the question: if Ankalaev's legs weren't really hurt, how hard does Jan Blachowicz kick?
That's what I saw online. They were like, this dude Jan must have really like fucking be swinging bats for his legs.
Because he had Ankalaev barely able to stand by the end of that fight,
legs. Right? Yeah, Ankh gave him the other leg, and then Jan was like, all right, I'll do that one.
I would love to see Jan Blachowicz win his fight against Carl Ulberg. Carl, whatever his name is, Ulberg.
Carlos, I believe.
And fucking have another title run. Jan Blachowicz, be sick. I would love fucking.
I always thought Jan Blachowicz was good. The dude
Yeah.
he's got the longest wingspan I've ever, and it's
I
not
think
actually.
I think I remember.
Polish power.
Big, tall, blonde guy.
Him, his gigantic. He's got like a fist. Like he's got this huge fist.
Yeah.
And one time before he went out to fight for a title, he posted a picture fist bumping his like newborn baby, and it was just like his baby's fist was like not even the size of one knuckle. And I'm like, this guy's crazy.
The only thing is that I think he's like 42 or 43. I mean, Glover did it before, same weight
It
class,
is
but
really
like
weird watching these dudes get old, and I'm like all the guys that I like really like. I'm now experienced because I've always heard about it from like older people that like UFC. Like I remember when like it was all about Nick Diaz and BJ Penn and shit, and I'm always like, shut the fuck up. but now I'm like dudes are like, oh my god, can you believe this guy? I'm like, do you guys still like Yabohovich?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sad I missed the card. I heard it was pretty good. You were saying that the whole thing was pretty good,
Gaethje
except for the
versus
main
Fiziev.
fight.
Yeah, Gaethje versus. I was
Gaethje was
pacing
good,
around.
or Gaethje-
Gaethje physique was good. I was pacing around. I was stressed out.
Okay, well, I'm sorry for. Yeah. Well, that's something we wanted to bring up because Mark has a little bit of a connection to the ESPN and Disney. Do you want to say anything more about that? Or you just
I mean, he's never going to see this. Brendan Schaub is it?
Schaub, yeah,
Schaub?
something.
Brendan
I don't
Schaub?
really know.
An article came out saying ESPN did that shit on purpose to like fuck with the UFC for whatever reason. Brendan Schaub was, I think, like the main person that said it. We did not do that shit on purpose.
Yeah.
That shit ruined my Saturday.
Well, wait. Let's just say what happened is that fucking when the pay-per-view, something happened with the pay-per-view, and ESPN couldn't process 150,000 pay-per-views, right?
Yeah, something along like. Also, nobody like. That's the thing is, it's not just ESPN. You couldn't buy Disney Plus, and you couldn't buy ESPN Plus, and you couldn't buy Hulu, depending on where you were trying to buy it from.
Yeah.
So it's not like this was specific to ESPN. It was just most noticeable for ESPN because of the pay-per-view.
And you're pretty connected. So you saw pretty connected.
Yeah.
So you kind of were dealing with it firsthand a little bit, and you want to say that it was not on purpose.
It was not. It's so funny that I was sitting here with Ahmi, and he got to watch me be like, oh shit, like shit's breaking at work. And then be like, whoa, shit's really broken. And then I was like, oh my God, they might ask me to fix it. and then 2 minutes later, they started calling my phone. And I was like, oh, fuck.
I was like, bro, there's 3 fights left. Like, it doesn't even matter.
I put my phone on airplane. I just told them. I was like, it was midnight on Saturday. And they're going to be investigating what happened. Probably for the next like month and a half.
And just to quantify it, that's about $10-12 million loss.
I think they
sales,
estimated that they let like they're still doing the estimates, but I think it's like around $13 or $14 million that they lost. And it wasn't that long of a period of time that everything was down.
Yeah.
So
and it's also not your fault.
It is not my fault, but it is. I am like in the
Part of the
general area of dudes who like. There's a reason why they tagged me. I like should have been like we're calling my phone directly.
Yeah.
I technically should have been able to fix it, but I was just too. I've been smoking a bunch of joints.
Get this guy, Dana White.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm glad we went over both of those things. We are like going crazy over time. I feel like. So I do just want to touch on one more thing. Formula One. We got our first race this weekend. Super, very exciting. We've been watching Drive to Survive last season.
To survive.
Bahrain Grand Prix.
What?
Bahrain Grand Prix.
Lando Norris.
Lando Norris.
I love when you do that.
I've made a decision as to what team I'm rooting for this season.
Which one?
And who I'm supporting.
Oh my God! Tell me you got a hat, bro. Tell me you got a hat.
Let's go.
Let's go with McLaren, baby. Let's fucking go.
Can you please wear that on Saturday? Maybe.
I'll see what the vibe is on Saturday. Well, actually, and this is what I wanted to do. So yeah, I did want to say I'm supporting McLaren for fucking Formula One this season. I hope to see you guys win again. Zach, I love that guy. Zach, great guy. And McLaren too, because they got the P1, my favorite car. Okay. And so on Saturday, I also have another thing I'm supporting.
Oh, let's see it.
I got a black guy hat.
You can wear my big coat if you want.
Why don't I wear this? You wear the coat, and Ahmi, you wear the shiesty, and let's all go. Let's all go out in our black guy attire. Yeah. I'm honestly, I don't know how I'm feeling about black guy hat so far. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think it's all right.
It's
it
not
looks
bad.
You need to like break the hat in a little
I
bit.
do need to break it in a little bit.
I would wear it around the house maybe. You might get hat hair though.
We're now qualified for $17 eggs. Let's fucking go.
Oh, there we go. All right.
I want to get a Ferrari hat, but I feel like some dude's gonna like sock me thinking it's a Make America Great hat.
Oh, they're red.
You get a black one.
Oh yeah, I could do that. I remember I used to wear your red polo hat around. I stopped doing that because people would really like walk around me and like look at the front of my hat, and it was just like a polo hat. And I was like, oh, bro. And then I only realized after a while.
I feel like for the next episode, I have to pull out a surprise.
I was just thinking that.
All right.
Wait. I'll do 10 more minutes, but with a joint. Okay, we don't got it. We could smoke the joint separately.
We could. You want to go bust it out? You want to go get it? Well,
Do we
have anything? Yeah. Do we have anything for our regular audience? No. Okay. Thank you for joining us. And you could see the rest of this episode on Patreon. Okay, all right.